Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Chico? How you doing, man? All right. What's up, Isoko? What's up, Odium? How you guys doing? Okay. Today, we use a pyro melee hybrid. It's gonna be... I was thinking maybe going main hand Pada, offhand, like catch flame and then big flame. I might try other weapons. Maybe I'll try halberd. Trying to think of like one-handed weapons that could do well here. You know what? I'd love to try Zvi, but I feel like I've played with Zvi for quite some time. You know what? Morning Star could be interesting. We never play with that. That could be an interesting little setup. Iron Cleaver, unironically, would not be too bad either for what we were trying to do here. Maybe Hand Axe, I'm not too sure, because Catch Flame kind of serves the same purpose as Hand Axe. Great Cat, maybe. One-handed Milady. Maybe one-handed Milady. Maybe Back-end Blade, I don't know. Definitely not Curve Sword. One-handed Curve Sword's pretty bad. Trusting Sword? We could try Trusting Sword. What about Clean Rot? Super interesting and original. You know what? Great Sword would be interesting as well, but I mean, the Great Sword won't really serve a good purpose there. Okay, well, we're gonna start with that. I think we're gonna try Morning Star first. Okay. What's the dex that... what's it called? How much virtual dex does this give us? The Radagon icon. Is it 30 or is it 40? I think it's 30, right? Man, I want to go like 40 dex just to have max casting speed. We can't use the staff, that's out of the question, because we're going to be both hands utilized for something. Technically, we probably want something like this. And maybe like that. And perhaps even changing this one for like the running attack tally. Something like that. I think first we're gonna level up our fate, ideally to 80. Ideally. Yeah, but I don't plan on just using Catch Flame. I plan on using... we're gonna have Catch Flame. But we're also... Wait a second. I don't have the other big flame? Well, I'm gonna have to look at the wiki. Oh no, I have it. There it is. Never mind. I got confused between the two because I already have Catch Flame. Okay, this one. Yeah, this one. Full charge O Flame into Catch Flame True combo has potential to basically one-shot. Yeah, that's something we definitely want to try. We're gonna start by reallocating. Because technically here, last time that I did Fate... one sec.
Be not, I would birth thee.
Because it's gonna be like... Let's see here. Because I think Dragon Communion Seal with Fate and Arcane is actually better than just 80 Fate with Erdtree. Right now, I'm just going to check. Yeah, right now, I'm just going to check. Like for, I'm just going to check on a little build planner real quick. What's most optimal for us? Let's say we have like 28 endurance, maybe like 58 vigor. Our strength, I think we're gonna keep it to the minimum. I don't really think it's that necessary to have it that high. Yeah, we're gonna keep that at minimum. Maybe like, let's go 18 dex. And then this is Dragon Communion Seal. We're gonna see Dragon Communion Seal, Erdtree Seal. Dry Leaf. Is Dry Leaf... I know Dry Leaf is not like the most optimal for high fate, but would it be worth it to just not put as much and like have a more balanced build? That's going to be what we're going to see here. Okay, so let's say we have 80 here. Okay, I have 5 more points. Let's okay. So at 80, comparing this seal right now. Okay, our incant scaling is at 353. So if we go to wait. Oh, never mind. Okay, so yeah, the Dragon Communion Seal is not better than 80 with Erdtree. Like Erdtree has a good amount more even. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go 80 with Earth 3 Seal. It's gonna be more simple. Well, at least we checked it. I thought Dragon Communion would be more optimal. Yo, Firekeeper, how you doing, man? What's up, baby turtle? What's up, plant? Yeah, yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go Earth 3 Seal, 80 Fate.
Is it time? No.
Let's reallocate. We can afford 32 from what I saw. Like, basically here... Technically, this stat spread should give us 80 Fate and, you know... like that. So, this is what we're gonna go for. We're gonna try this. If it doesn't work, we can change it later. Give me one sec, guys. I'll be right back. Alright. Alright, let's try this out. Now, for the armor, we don't want to be too heavy. And, quite frankly, I probably should have utilized some sort of... I do that. Too heavy. Still too heavy. Okay, what if I do this? Something like that I think makes sense here. No, it's too heavy. Okay, we're gonna try this out. Okay, for the spells... And we do have this. Got this here. We get Hall of Shabriri. We can try that. Flame grant me strength. Big fireball. Quite frankly, I should just use Golden Vow here. Like, Bestial Vitality and Golden Vow. And then if we need to change something, we can. Not the biggest deal. Like here, for instance, go like that. Okay, I think that's decent enough for now to try things out. We're just gonna infuse our weapons. Don't want fire, we want flame art. That's important. Let there be flame strike. We're gonna try a few weapons, but for now we're gonna start with this. I'm just gonna put like a row of daggers. Just for my usual escape VHS. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start with this, try things out, see how it goes, and we're gonna make adjustments from there. I don't think the Frostbot is going to be the play today. I think it's going to be... Honestly, I'm thinking like just 10 madness spots. Let's just do that. Alright. Let's try this. Is there an equivalent to PK in Elden Ring? No, there is not. There used to be. Before they got nerfed, Kestis played close to PK, but now they don't. Well, maybe not PK, but like they played close to like Scimitar. Or maybe even Painted Guardian Curved Sword. It's a little shorter, but similar playstyle. But, you know, they nerfed the stun on it, so it doesn't play like it anymore. Not Furnace. Furnace knock people up. We don't want that. Like, we want our, like, as an invader, you want your pots to knock people to the side. Like, Furnace is good for team fights. Because for team fights in the arena, you don't really care about knocking people over. Well, Furnace are good for team fights, but not necessarily invasions. Players. Try something different here. We're gonna try running attack punish. Okay, no, we didn't land it. Okay, the punish is too slow. Let's just punish with with catch flame. Sorry. I was trying to see, like, whiff punish with this, and then, like, I don't think this is fast enough, though. Yo, Xenos, how you doing, man? And this doesn't seem to pair that well. I think the halberd is gonna be the better option, honestly. Yo, FIFO, thanks for the resub, man. Really appreciate that. I think the halberd is gonna be better here. Yo, Marvin, how you doing, man? Isn't the combo O Flame Catch Flame? I'm just trying to see, like, what synergizes well. Like, I want to see if it's possible to, like, land O Flame as a roll catch after you hit something. If Pada running R2, yeah, that's why I grabbed it. I wanted to see if we could do that. That's something I considered earlier. I wonder if that combos, because if that's the case, like, you know, the running R2 for Pada is not very hard to land. Oh, they're below. Let's see here. Ooh, it does seem to combo. Oh my god, it actually might combo. That looks hella nasty. Dude, that catch slime is doing a ton of damage. Yeah, I used to love Black Flame in DS3. It used to be like one of my like closet favorite thing to use. Like in Dark Souls 3, I would play with Red Hilted Halberd and Off and Black Flame. So this is funny because this is very similar to that. Very similar, actually. We could also push our catch or flame damage a little higher. Like right now, I don't have fire in my physic. So this is something we could definitely change. Three players. See one of them. Two of them here. Also blue. The blue is behind them. We're definitely not gonna engage in a place without cover and nothing when there's three of them like that. PvE is dead here. Let's see what else is there. Okay, PvE is alive back there. Always funny when you see people ganking but not moving. They have like 3 people and they're waiting for me to go in there. Their world, their rules. Exactly, Chirico. You already know it. The blue is even less adventurous than them. Yo, Gabri Souls, thanks for the resub for 20 months, man. Really appreciate that. Is the blue clueless? I don't know, honestly. Sure looks like it, but in a 3v1, it doesn't really matter. Actually, we don't want that. We're gonna change this to this. And since this is gonna be a long fight, we're gonna bestial vitality here. I misspaced that. Like, see, even if the blue is bad, this spell spam is always dangerous. because I feel like this is going to be a long fight, I don't want to use my Estus yet. I feel like we're going to need it later on. They're really moving at a snail's pace. I don't know where the blue is. There he is. All right. All of them sitting right next to each other, it would be like a terrible mistake to just get in there. There's no opening, they're just sitting right next to each other. Like some of my old Rainbow Six buddy would have said, they dick-eating each other. Doesn't want to commit too much. They're really playing like extreme pussies. They're crazy. Oh yeah, fire coils is a good point. There you go. You can equip them. Careful about the plunge from the yellow. Bro, they're actually such pussies. Ooh. PvE didn't survive long enough for us to do much. Well, I say to do much, but we almost killed him. Like, he was one shot away from dying. The Phantom. Wow, we killed the blue. Insane. Bro, these fire coils did damage. Let's not rush things too much though. Damn it. Questionable range. Oh, we got a red in there. Let's try to push. You know what? Let's just. How many cooks in the kitchen? Patience prevail yet again. Dude, these fire claws did insane damage against the blue though. They really did. That blue just got pulverized with like by 1,000 damage. Fucking fire coil. Pretty crazy stuff. How many players in there? It's one person. Armor moment. Great map choice, by the way. Questionable. This guy's playing like beyond passive. Oh, that really hit. This guy's not very good, but I can't attack first, so it's just like you wait. You just have to wait for him to whiff, and you can't really whiff with Lance anyway. not actually going there yet. Whoa, we almost fell there. Can you guys hear me? Okay. How many players in there? 2 players. This. Oh, it's not a combo. Skewed. Nice. All right. This guy is so shit. It's just the running away fest. What a waste of time, man. Players. Comboed. Okay, should not have landed. Alright. I can hear it, I can't see it. Oh, the desync is nasty. Could hear it. Can't really do much in this one. Do you know when they're coming out, the Firekeeper, with the new gen monitors? Isn't there like one Asus out yet? Around November? Oh, okay, so it's kind of very far off. And November in the US, I don't know when it's gonna be for Canada. Kill videos. Yeah, we're using some sort of catch flame with a few melee weapons, trying things out. Catch flame's always nice, but it's always challenging to find something that pairs well with it. Two players. Monitor fun, thanks man, really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna upgrade my monitor at some point. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity because my monitor, for those of you who watch the stream regularly, you'll know that my monitor just black screens on me from time to time. And so I'm definitely gonna upgrade. It's just I'm waiting for the right time to upgrade. Like, I don't want to upgrade just for the sake of upgrading. I want like something that I'll keep for a long time. Am I going the right way here? Bro. Okay, yeah. I forgot if this was the spot or somewhere else. think I need something with endure though. Need a weapon with endure so that I can push in there. This is very dangerous to go up there without endure. Okay, not the effect I wanted. Okay, this is probably like the sloppiest fight of all time, but yeah, boy. You on gun. I'm not coping yet. The game called Big Wall came out. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say something like that, like something silly. Is it a game where you walk? For the Ender... Oh, I have an Ender one. I have this one. Alright, I guess we're good. It's revolutionary. I thought the game Big Walk was already released by Hideo Kojima. Featuring Norman Reedus. Pretty sure I'm right. Or was it Norman Chungus? Or maybe Norman Mungus. You know what? Whoa. Nice. Dude, these little fire coils though. I don't use them often. I never use them when I'm on a Fate build, but you really always should use them. And you can throw them fast too, like they're like readily available. Oops, god damn it. Didn't want to craft all of them at the same time. You play Fate almost purely for them? Yeah. Yeah, we're on 80 Fate Christ right now. We don't have the fire damage in our physic though. Because last time when I did a fire build, we kept only getting like water areas. So felt like it might be better to just tone down on the fire reliance a little bit. Oh, it's November worldwide? Okay. It's funny also, last time when we talked about monitors, I said I might grab one because they were on sales, but when I looked after the stream, none of them were on sale. Like, I don't know. I think I probably got misled by the YouTubers. You know, these tech tubers like X or Y are on sale or whatever. And when I looked it up, nothing was on sale like whatsoever. I was kind of disappointed. But it's probably for the best, you know, like... Like, the OLED I want are not out yet. At least I can't find anything that I actually want. Might as well wait for the tandem OLEDs, too. Alright, buddy. This is it. Showtime. Oh my god, bro. That's just unlucky. I got too greedy there. I felt like I could kill them easily, and I mean, that was the first mistake. Even if you're fighting bad players, you can't underestimate them because the game is just so skewed. Anyone in chat tried the Mistfall? The more I see vids about it online, the more curious I am about it. It definitely doesn't look From Software-ish at all, honestly. Looks interesting, though. I'm kind of curious. I haven't even looked up how much it cost either. I don't think I'd pay like full price for a game like that though, because that sort of game doesn't last very long. If you ask AI to combine Dark and Darker and duct tape Souls games on it with MMO cooldown mechanics, that sounds about right, to be honest. Watch your friend chase someone through the map for 15 minutes and decided it wasn't for you. Yeah, that sounds about right, honestly. When I looked at the combat, it felt like there was no way to keep applying pressure. Like, obviously, I've never played the game before, and, you know, I don't know exactly, like, how everything works, but just from the looks of it, it felt like people could just get away after, like, one chain of attack, and then the only way you could catch them after they get away is, like, with some sort of range option. And when I say range option, I mean, like, even the melee class have, like, quote-unquote melee attacks that are basically spells because they launch, like, across the map and whatnot. There's no running attack. Oh, wow. That's basically Dark Souls 3. Mist means crap in German, so that's fitting for Mistfall. Mistfall is shit that just falls. Wow. I didn't know that. But you know, I'm happy that a game like Mistfall comes out now because it just, you know, it adds a little more variety to the whole like PvP, like sword fighting type games. Like I feel like we don't really have a lot of those, so it's always nice to have some variety because the game is clearly, uh, you know, designed around PvP in mind, which is quite rare for us in these sorts of settings. It's two players. Two players and quite sure where this is. Probably have the, yeah, they have the thing open. Let's buff while we're up here. Wasn't For Honor pretty decent? Yeah, I played For Honor when it came out quite a lot, actually. I won 5 tournaments in For Honor. 5 Major League Gaming tournaments, nonetheless. I'm more decorated than a lot of For Honor players who still play today. It's just that I left after, I left, like, short, like, a month after, basically. I underestimated the support that the game would have. I thought it would be, like, long gone. Well, I wasn't sure I was gonna connect that. Yes, hit the big pot. Oh no, he's the phantom, he can't hit it. Can really only get, like, one hit in there. Dude, I need to stop with these. We need to do this. Bro, he didn't care. Just ate the big fire. Yo, Mark, thanks for the resub for 35 months, man. Really appreciate that. We're not a fan of the three-way blocks anyway. I think the biggest flaw for Honor is, you know, the game is really fun. You know, it has its own identity and everything, but there's no spacing in For Honor. There really isn't. That's really the only thing I think that's... I feel unfortunate about the combat for For Honor. Like, you really have a strong magnet effect, and it's really more like, you know, reads and picking the right attacks and mix-ups, as opposed to spacing. There's basically no spacing. Back when I played, it was just a lot about putting your opponent into 50-50 and then maximizing your combos. Like, you know, if you got X punish, like, know which character can do what, like know what to avoid, you know, and maximize the damage output when the opportunity comes. And also when I played, there were some exploits, like there was Nabushi bleed cheese, there was Shoguki, like unlock running 50-50. There was a few cheese when I played. Dude, I love how it goes through this fucking thing. Dude, I keep doing the fucking the wrong spell at the start of the fight. Quite cancer to deal with 2 of those spells. Oh, I didn't think we would attack there. Can't really attack right now. That's cute. I didn't want to do that spell there, but cute game. I think here, I think we're gonna want the halberd. Yet. Right. Timing is real. Come on, rat. Alright, your turn now. Surprised that didn't connect. Just spamming it. Not gonna have a choice but to heal. Alright, buddy. Chivalry 2 is the best, but it's also kind of dead now. Yeah, I wish I played that when it came out. Never played this type of game, but when I watched footage of it, it looks very good. Like, yeah, when I watch some Chivalry 2 stuff, like I've watched like full games. I think it's the type of game that I would enjoy, but I can't really justify like getting into it now. Like it's too late down the cycle, you know what I mean? When does the network test start again, Firekeeper? I forgot when the date is. I think 28th is Tarnished edition, right? 28th of August is Tarnished. You said we get the code on the 18th. Is it like the 22nd? I forgot which dates we're supposed to get into Duskblood. There's some company. Try to fire mace. Maybe not. Maybe we'll try this instead. What you want to do, buddy? Oh. Alright, I'll leave you to it then. Good luck. Yeah, exactly, Kaiser. Hey, man. It's not like the Switch 2 was gifted necessarily because I'm a streamer, because technically the person who gifted me the Switch 2 is a friend. But you could say, no, actually I didn't meet Gabri. I did not meet Gabri through streaming. I met him through playing. 'Cause like back when I met Gabri, I was not even really much of a streamer yet. But, you know, one could argue that it might played a part in Gabri's decision, though. Where is he now? I mean, Gabri's just doing his thing. He's too smart to get involved with the community. That's that's what I can say. Like, I think he's had his lesson by now. Like, Gary's the one who set up the whole ladder thing, by the way. Like, this whole ladder thing, like, he's the one who set everything up. Like, he created the server, you know, the whole structure was created by Gabri. Like, he's ungrateful child, like, they ran him out afterward, but he's the one who created the whole thing. That was before, though. That was like he created that before we realized that there was no way Elden Ring was ever going to be competitive. Like, to it, you know, to his defense, like when Elden Ring came out, we didn't know what it would be like. We just knew that we wanted something more out of Dark Souls 3, and we had hope that Elden Ring would be that. Will you be able to stream the network test? That's a good question. Technically, we're not allowed to stream it. But we were not allowed to stream the Elden Ring network test either, by the way. And everyone did anyway, because it was sort of like a non-written, you know, agreement that you could still stream it. And, like, FromSoft was not going to take you down or anything. With that being said, this time around, the publisher is Nintendo. So, do you want to fuck with Nintendo? The answer is no, you don't. So, what will happen is I'm probably going to wait to see if other content creators like Oro, like, you know, like some others, I'm going to see if they're streaming it, if anything's happening to them. If not, you know, we're gonna stream it as well, but we're gonna have to wait for confirmation first that it's fine, just like the other games before. Not even that much damage. Jesus Christ, man, the walls. That's it for them here. Yeah. I mean, I've seen this movie play 1,000 times before. Look at that, they're both dead. You just cannot rush this specific spot. Like, these enemies are just too strong. You're very curious about Duskblood gameplay? I mean, for good reasons. We don't know anything about it. We have no idea how it's going to play. We don't even know if it's 60 or 30 FPS. Reminder that AC6 had a 120 FPS cap. AC6 ran extremely well on PC. But to be fair, AC6 is a different type of like game layout. Kevin, run! Oh, I didn't know there was 3 of you. Without Nintendo, there's no Duskblood. I mean, we don't really know about that. Like, it's not the first PvP-focused game that FromSoft makes. It's just that most people are not aware that Armored Core Verdict Day, the one that came out before AC6, was PvP-focused, and it was really fucking good. Like, it could have easily been an esports title. Like, I repeat every time I get a chance. Could have been an esports title. The only thing is, at that particular time when that game came out, it was successful for a mech game and for an Armored Core game at this particular time. It's just that mech and Armored Core games were just never really very popular at that time, because FromSoft was still a fairly niche studio overall. It's not like when Elden Ring came out, you know, whatever From Software was doing next was going to be like huge just because everyone was on like, you know, everyone had From Soft on their radar. And so AC6 basically rode on the back of the success of Elden Ring. But, you know, Armored Core Verdict Day was better than AC6 by a lot. You know, the only thing that AC6 did so much better is like the mission structure, the story mode. Actually, I say that it's really the PvP that was better in Verdict Day. That and also the co-op was super fun in Verdict Day as well. Like the PvP, the co-op was amazing. When like really shits on AC6, it's not really close either. But, you know, the single player, the amount of polish, the presentation, you know, story, mission structures, the replayability of the missions. AC6 did a phenomenal job with all of these things. You have to give props to AC6 for that. Like like, you know, even though like anyone, like no one with a brain would say that AC6 had remotely decent PvP, it was complete garbage. You know, even then, you could still see that there was a lot of love and care that was put into AC6. It's just like clearly the direction for the game did not suit PvP whatsoever. At the end of the day, AC6 should not have been a PvP game. Like, it should not have had PvP, and it should have had probably co-op instead of PvP. I think AC6 would have been even better for that. And, you know, I say that as like, you know, like a real hardcore PvP guy and someone that enjoyed PvP in Armored Core games. It's just that, you know, at some point you have to concede that some things are better left as is. Yeah, if you only take AC6 single player, it is phenomenal. I think it's the best mecha game ever if you just take the single player. I died to these guys earlier. Let me actually kind of play this a little more careful. Come on. Try something. Insane lock-on. I was aiming the complete opposite direction. Man, the lag there. That's brutal. Yo, what is this? Okay, this guy's net is shitting himself. Yo, felt like I should have landed that. What is wrong with this guy's net, though? Just play simple. The game is too inconsistent to try to outplay him. It was like 2 or 3 instances where like some Elden Ring interaction happened where I got punished for a mistake I didn't make, basically. Just the connection just being completely inconsistent, or like the hits not registering for whatever reason. It makes fight like this extremely dangerous and pointless. LC, thanks for the resub for 16 months. Really appreciate that. But yeah, Again, reminder that it was the Sekiro combat director that worked in AC6 PvP, and it was an afterthought. Yes, absolutely. Or sorry, I think I misread that. It was the Sekiro director that worked on combat, and PvP was an afterthought. Yes, you're absolutely right. But yeah, you know, like we talked about this like a few streams ago for Duskblood, you know, like for us, Duskblood doesn't make a whole lot of sense from the consumer or the player perspective because most of us PvP guys don't necessarily own a Switch 2, right? And we don't own a Switch 2, we never really cared too much about it. And then, just get ready here. But then from software's point of view, you know, like they get a game that basically pays for itself. It's not bad at all. And not only do they get a game that pays for itself, but they also get oh my god, can I just fucking stop with this? Stand there. And what's unfortunate is like even there, like, you know, you get the first hit, but you can't like keep applying pressure. Because they just hyper armor through everything, so you can't just pressure them. It's just hyper armor over and over. But yeah, to go back to our initial point, you know, Duskblood doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us because, you know, it's PvP is a niche within From Software games, and then the portion of players who actually own a Switch 2 or care about getting one, that's also a niche. So you have a game that's like a niche within a niche. And so already there, like the potential audience is much smaller than what it could be, just because of that. And, you know, for those of us who care about PvP, well, a lot of us won't really get to experience it because, you know, you're not going to buy like a Switch 2 a you know, a full price game like just for a game that quite frankly we don't even know what it's you know what it's like yet either. But on the other hand, from Software's perspective, they get to make a risky, or like what would be like a risky project, because, you know, PvP is still a niche, but they get to make that without the risk of any financial repercussion, because the game is already paid for upfront by Nintendo. Like the game is basically subsidized by Nintendo, so they get free reign over like something that's more risky, and so it makes sense for FromSoft to do that. And then from Nintendo's point of view, this is what makes the most sense. From Nintendo's point of view, it makes a lot of sense because even though you're not capturing a large audience necessarily, you're still going to capture a significant enough amount of Switch sales and people migrating to your platform, just because PvP is such a strong From Software niche that a lot of the PvP guys will just bite the bullet, get a Switch 2 just for Duskblood, and then, you know, after that, they're going to have a Switch 2, so they basically, like, embark someone in their ecosystem. So from Nintendo's perspective, that also makes sense. So all in all, you know, it's not the worst strategy possible, but with that being said, there's still a good chance that the game might fail, you know, like we don't even know if it's 60 FPS. Bro, that shit, man. I think I got it so much from like early hits, like animation skips. Bunch of bullshit. Very annoying. I don't know if Nintendo is a wise partner in the long run. Honestly, I don't really think that matters. Like, as a video game maker, like FromSoft, you just want to get your game to as many markets as possible or as many places as possible. You just want to leverage what's available. Like, even though the game's an exclusive, I'm sure the deal that they got from Nintendo is probably worth the money. I mean, we don't know any details, but it must have been worth it. Otherwise, they would not have done it. And, you know, you have to keep in mind, like, From Software can do no wrong, you know? Like, and I say that, like, ironically, but, like, in the eyes of a lot of these investors, a lot of these other companies, like, FromSoft is like a studio that keeps making bangers after bangers, so it's a very safe move from Nintendo to go toward FromSoft. But yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Also, let me say that Nintendo has first-party games and that are PvP focused, and they're very big. Splatoon is an example of that, and even has some tournaments and such. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just I'm very skeptical because the Switch 2 is like, you know, by today's standard, it's not a very good platform. Like, hardware-wise, we mean. It's just not, but I guess we'll see. Oh wow, the range on that. I'm gonna punish this guy with the flame, but oh, the rock blocked us. No sleep. Might be difficult to maneuver around these guys. And we're in water as well. Damage is heavily nerfed. That all comboed, man. Like, that was an actual frame trap. Like, we rolled the attack that we needed to roll, and then afterward it was GG. There was no escaping that, unfortunately. Everything comboed afterward. I would say so far this setup is not very good, I'm being totally honest. Not just because there's water everywhere, but it's just not very good at managing multiple people. It can't pressure hyper armor. It doesn't attack in any sort of wide arc either. It's just not very good. Well, at least we tried it. I really don't have enough blue juice to do that. One important kill. Okay, we're out of blue already. Well, guys, I mean, we tried it. We tried this setup. It's just not very good. At least not for invasions. I mean, we gave it a shot, though. And ironically, I think the best thing that could happen to Souls PvP is for FromSoft to somewhat listen to a lot of the Redditors, like to remove the annoyance that people have of like getting invaded when they don't want to, and to have like proper PvP framework where the PvP is rewarded and it makes sense, and you have people who want the PvP, not people who don't want the PvP. Because right now you PvP with people that don't want the PvP. Like, it's not sustainable. It never will be. And they could have a PvP where people want the PvP, but for some reason they don't. Two players. Oh wow, we see them. We see them, but how long do I have to walk to get to them, though? That's the question. Probably a fair little bit. We could try jumping here. You know what? Oh! I thought that was it, guys. I thought that was it. I mean, we tried it. They're gonna remove roll catching. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the faith that I have in From Software understanding their own PvP is very little. I'm not holding my breath for Duskblood, but, you know, it is what it is. How many players in there? We got 2 guys. Bro, he's just like... Some of these guys just spam at the most obnoxious time where... Like, if you just kept on spamming yourself, like, they would die. That could have been bad. I almost got blendered there. Thank you, Invisible Tree. See that coming. The host is a problem. Yo, it missed. Dude, this is wild how... Bro. Some of these fights, man, they're not pretty, but they're dangerous. They're dangerous for the wrong reasons. How's Catchflame been? Catchflame has been pretty disappointing for invasions, honestly. I mean, the setup has not performed as well as I would hope so. It's definitely not amongst the standout or invasion builds, I'll say that. Not to mention that fire is not great in general in this game because there's water everywhere, but even then, the damage has not been high enough to really warrant, like, using it. Like, it's just like using a melee weapon for the most part. And even if you keep priority, it doesn't do enough damage for you to, like, finish someone that spams into you. Like, more often than not, what will happen is, like, they'll spam and you'll do, like, 1, 2, 3, and they won't be dead yet, but by that time, you're gonna have to stop because their teammate will be attacking you. 3 players. Good fight. Rollback would be infuriating in this game. Yeah, usually people who want rollback in Souls don't really quite understand how rollback works. It wouldn't really work for Souls games. I mean, there's different types of rollback, like, you know, like every game has some sort of rollback for the movement. But like it's for the hit registration. That's usually what people mean when they say rollback, and I don't think it's really possible for Souls PvP. Like you'd constantly have like rewind moments basically. Good fight. EDC. Chop your head off. I didn't know No Rest for the Wicked had PvP. I knew they said they would implement it, but I didn't know it was there yet. Wonder if anyone plays the PvP in that game. If you say they have rollback implemented, I'd be very curious to see like what type. Because like I said, every game like has some sort of rollback for, you know, the basic stuff. So it's possible that this is what you mean, but you really, like, when you're talking about fighting game rollback netcode, like, you mean, like, you know, the hit confirm. That's, like, the part that matters the most. And that's why, that's what could be really problematic for a Souls game. Oh, we got it right in there. Elden Ring at its finest. Bro, I love how teammate hit me and I hit him. Okay, we're just gonna let this teammate like do whatever, because we're just gonna let him fight. Bro is a rare breed, dude. A fisher in Elden Ring. You don't see them because they don't survive. It's just not very good in this game. Co-op is very different. Like rollback netcode and co-op is like I said, like it's the like the thing with rollback is like how it works is like okay, so rollback netcode, what it does basically is rollback works on the premise of there is like one reality, and you know people exchange data between one another, right? Like, you know, between players. Like, if I hit you, I'm sending the information that I hit you, and then you receive the information. And then whether I hit you on your screen or not, like, you send that information back to me, and then we have like a resolution of what happens. Like, what will happen with rollback is, like, if I hit you on my screen and then the game says that I hit you, like, the hit will be considered as hit unless the information comes back as if it was not a hit. Then it will, like, roll back. And then the other thing that's, like, more appropriate for rollback, it's usually the movement. So, like, whether you're let's say you're face to face with someone, and, you know, like, you guys are both moving. On my screen, like, you're gonna appear, like, right here, but on your screen, you're already here. But, like, what rollback does is it will, like, on my screen, like, my game will predict that what my opponent will be doing is the same input as they did last time, which is what happens 90% of the time. Basically, if I'm going forward, chances are I'm going to keep going forward until I'm not, because, you know, maybe I'm going to input, like, a change in direction. But until I'm changing direction, my input stays the same. Like, if I'm going one direction, I still go in one direction. What rollback does is it assumes that the opposite player keeps inputting the same input until it's not. And when it's not, then it reverts back. That's, like, the whole premise of it. And it works with movement fairly well. But when it comes to, like, rolling back the hit stun, like, it's very complicated and doesn't work for the most part, because you constantly have to roll back the hit stun. It usually works better in games where the stun or the damage happens without necessarily, like, a big stun. That's usually where it works better. Or games where there's a lot of combos. Because, you know, once you start a combo, it's like, you know, the game can assume that the guy is going to get stun locked for the duration of the combo. I mean, it's more complicated than that, but for the most part, like, what rollback struggles the most with is neutral hit stun. That's what it handles very badly, because you can't say, like, I hit you on my screen and assume that I hit you on my screen. Like, because most of the time that's not how it works in Souls. So that's why it doesn't work very well. Like, it's quite different from other games that don't have, like, that much of a focus on dodge and dodge timing. Like, with rollback, you're gonna have, like, sometimes you're gonna roll back the player position, so people will skip back to their initial position, or sometimes, like, some games have, like, some sort of, like, complicated, like, ways to camouflage the rollback. Other games just straight up skip to it. And very often with fighting games, the reason why rollback is more bearable is when you only have 2 players, it's a little bit different. And also what fighting games do is they'll also delay your inputs to have time for the game to catch up to what's happening, so to speak. So, like, let's say, for instance, I hit you on my screen. Well, before I even hit you, I'm going to press, like, let's say I press R1 to hit you. Before my screen even does the R1 for my character, you know, the game is going to send that I inputted an R1 at this specific location. And, you know, the game has to be, like, what's called deterministic. And so, like, you know, the game is going to calculate every scenario possible, and there's not going to be, like, any variation. And if, let's say, I R1 in this specific position, the game already knows in advance if my R1 is going to connect or not, because it's deterministic. So what they will do is they'll send my R1 input to my opponent before the animation even plays on my screen. So that's what fighting games do. And so by the time that my attack comes out, you know, the input is almost back to me, you know, on my screen. Like, the input has already been sent and it's almost back. And if you had rollback network on top of that, then the rollback portion is only like a few milliseconds. So the quote-unquote skip that you would get to roll back the game is really not that much. So The whole rollback works very well on like mid to low lat like that. It works very flawlessly. That's how you escape danger, guys. Uh-oh. We might be in trouble. Oh, okay. Refocus here. One down. That's the host. Insane. We take it. I guess the hard part here was surviving. But yeah, keep in mind, I'm not like a networking engineer or anything like that. It's just like I'm regurgitating what I understood about rollback, because I read a lot about it, but it's, you know, it's been a little while, so I might have like a few things a little off, but for the most part, like, I think the big lines should be correct in my explanation, for the most part. So all in all, the things that rollback struggles with is the hit stun. You know, the more players you have to manage, you know, the more complicated the whole world is as well. Like, the whole world needs to be deterministic. You cannot have like random variations happen between player state and player worlds. So that's a big deal. Like, having an engine be deterministic needs to be a decision that happens prior to development, not like midway through. I know that I remember an interview where the No Rest for the Wicked dev basically said that they planned to have PvP from the get-go, and they chose the right engine in relation to what they wanted prior to making the game. And so I know for sure that they have a deterministic engine for No Rest for the Wicked. And that's a big deal. That matters a lot. I don't know if FromSoft is like that. I don't think so. Could be wrong though. And it would definitely be possible for the game to be deterministic, but if it's not, then they would have to rebuild it, which is unfeasible as well. We don't have enough blue to use that spell. Possible to add rollback afterward? Well, it's always possible to do. It just takes a tremendous amount of work in certain situations. Like it's like I said, it's a case-by-case basis. Like, if your game is already deterministic, it's not gonna be like the hardest thing to implement. If it's not deterministic, then it's gonna be a whole lot of work to implement. Like, you're gonna have to redo a bunch of things. And also, depending on if it's a 1v1 game, you know, multiple people. Do you have a server, or is it peer-to-peer? Like, there's a whole bunch of things that needs to be considered. It's only duels right now? Well, that goes back to what I said, though. It's a lot easier to implement if it's just 2 players involved. Again, like, with 2 players involved, they could probably have a system that's similar to fighting games, which is not really like Souls, like where you have multiple players. Because then you have to manage like the rollback with like, let's say 3 or 4 players in there, and it starts to get a lot more complicated to, if it's a peer-to-peer game, to like roll back to what was the initial true state. Let's try this one. Oh, that's a big damage. Comboed. Oh, we did some good damage, but or from over. Let's try like this. No, I ran into that. But the hit both hit none instead. Questionable range there. Again, questionable. Wait for me. Nice parry, bro. Here's the whole stat. Yeah, so far I feel like this build has been more of a struggle to get easy kills more than anything else. Like, everything feels like it's more effort than what it should be. What would improve the build? Or is the whole idea bad? Well, for invasions, you need things that can, like, 2-shot, 1-shot, or at worst 3-shot. And you need things that can hit multiple people as well. Catch Flame is just too narrow. It's too narrow to hit multiple people. Like, running R2 for either the katana or the halberd is not the worst, but it's kind of slow, obviously. Fire coils are probably the best thing about this build, because fire coils give you like a range option that's pretty decent. Bro, what is that health? Bro, what is that health? He didn't even open his chest either. Have BFT? You mean bacon, fries, and tomatoes? Yes. Not to be confused with BLT. Oh yeah, Black Flame Tornado, you said. You know what? Let's grab one. I think to see like what other weapon I could put it on, but I think it's a halberd. You have a BBC? Well, I'm glad you asked. No one said that, by the way, guys. It just had to come out of my system. Uh. You mean the British Broadcasting Corporation? Yes. How many players? Oh, it's only one person. Oh, it's the guy that ran away earlier. Doing there? blue in there, I think. Yeah. Good fight. Host is having the time of his life, but it's just shenanigans. I think we're just gonna move on. Oh, he's summoning another guy. Hey, that blue was going for the exit door. If you don't kill me, it doesn't count. Oh, there's another one. They're like mosquitoes. Oh, the lag is real though. It's so laggy that you don't even know when it's gonna connect. Holy shit. Bro, you cannot make that shit up, bro. The blues just keep on falling. Oh no, the net is real for this one too. Yo, what is that? Oh my god, the lag is real. Holy shit. It's just skipping again. Yeah. Holy shit, that dude. And these people have like washing machine connection. This guy's having the time of his life, just summoning scrubs to die. Alright, let's move on from there. What other type of PvP game do I like? Well, I'll say that nowadays I really don't game much anymore, but you know, if you're new here, I used to be a pro player, like an actual pro player. Used to get checked by mail sent by Activision Blizzard. I won tournaments in many games. Like I won a championship in Rainbow Six Vegas 2, which was quite a competitive game back then. I won a bunch of tournaments in For Honor the first month it came out. And obviously a lot of community tourneys in Dark Souls 3 and such, but I've always liked shooters, although, to be quite honest, I really don't care about them much anymore. Used to be more into shooters, now I'm not. As far as PvP games, you know, I used to really like Armored Core Verdict Day as well. I used to really be into that game. The only reason I stopped playing it was that they closed the server down and there wasn't much people to be playing. I know they have like community hosted servers now on PC, but I mean, let's be real, there's not much to strive for there. If you want to play with the same like 5 people or so, like be my guest, there's nothing wrong with that, but I was really into MGO as well, like Metal Gear Online, both MGO 2 from Metal Gear Solid 4 and the MGO 3 from Metal Gear Solid 5. MGO 2 was better, but PvP wise, let's see what else was fun PvP wise. Trying to think. A lot of good single player games, but like PvP games that I really got into. I mean, keep in mind, I played Rainbow Six Vegas 2 for 8 years competitively. Like, that's a long time, you know, like a very long time. You ever play Trials? No, I don't know what that is. But yeah, you know, I really like gaming overall. Otherwise, I would not have been here that long. And over time, like, you know, at the start, I was really good. I mean, I'm still very good at games. It's just that there's nothing that I can dedicate myself to right now. Like, there's no game that are worth like getting good at the moment that are in my for my taste, right? But every game that I dedicated myself to, I got to the very top, meaning like, you know, to the upper echelons, the top tiers of players, like winning the highest level tourneys. Whether it was in Rainbow Six, you know, Dark Souls 3, For Honor, pretty much any game that I really dedicated myself to, I got to that level. But there's nothing that interests me right now to get to that point. Elden Ring's certainly not one of them. Elden Ring is too inconsistent for me to care about it. There's too much stuff that's not in your control, where the better player doesn't always win. There's a bunch of forced ratings, and I don't want to get into all the Elden Ring issues like we do every other stream, but... You know, back in Rainbow Six, like, we were all, like all of us Rainbow Six guys, we were all hoping for the next Rainbow Six to come along. And the game that was made was called Rainbow Six Patriots, and it got canned. That game got canned, and eventually they made Siege instead, which Siege has really nothing to do with Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2, which were much better than Siege. Like, Siege is just a gimmick fest. Siege is a clone of other franchises. It doesn't have its own identity. It's a clone of a bunch of other things with a bunch of gimmicks. It's not at the core like how Rainbow Six used to be played. I had some friends that I played with, you know, some teammates that played Siege at launch, you know, and they won like one of the biggest tournament in Siege, and they dropped the game afterward because they felt like the game was not really that good. If you're one of the best at something, does it feel empty at the top? Honestly, that's a good question, because you're not going to be able to, you know, you're not going to be able to ask anyone this sort of question, because it's rare that you're going to encounter someone who's best at something. Doesn't matter how irrelevant that is. I will say, though, that over time I did realize that all the energy I poured into all these games is better put elsewhere, and that's what I've been doing, you know, in the more recent years. I've been putting that energy elsewhere, and that has paid dividend for me. But I will say that I don't know how applicable it is to all, you know, everyone else, but you know what they say, right? Like, you know, some people are talented, others learn through effort. Talent is basically like DNA, right? Like, you have a predisposition. Like, you know, some basketball players are just born 7 feet tall, you know, therefore they're going to be good at basketball, you know, that sort of advantage. Well, it's the same thing for like brain chemistry and shit like that. So I think it would be foolish for me to say that I don't have I probably have like a predisposition to being good at all this stuff. And it's the same thing with sports. Like, every time I played sports, I was always like winning trophies for the most improved players on every team, on every sport that I played. So like over the years, like I gained like a tremendous amount of confidence because everything I gave myself to, like I was successful at it. Everything that I tried. It's just that perhaps the choice of things I tried might not have been the best for the best outcome for my life in general until, you know, a later point in my life, you know, meaning that, you know, you give yourself to sports, that's all good and everything until, you know, you get injured and you can't like continue on that path, or, you know, you do this for games, you know, with the optic of becoming a pro player, and you realize there's not really much money to be made there, at least not consistently. The real money is made through streaming, which is what I did eventually. But again, I think there's better ways to put that energy like in more intelligent places. But that's just a little bit of personal experience there that I just shared with you. Hope you guys can take away some things out of what I said. I'm not saying this to really brag or anything, because quite frankly, I do not give a single shit about this sort of stuff. I don't really care about what people think. If anything, like what streaming has taught me over the years is how irrelevant other people's opinions are. Oh wow. Oh, we can't spam out of that. Insane combo. Someone said adjusting to a new game could be difficult. Yeah, you can't just improvise yourself to be good at anything you do. Like, you're gonna have to put a considerable amount of effort. And actually, one thing I didn't mention, which is probably the most important part, you can't just be good at anything you want. You're gonna be good at things you like. It's very different. So even if you're good at X or Y, don't think for a second that you're gonna be good at anything that you want to do or you think would be beneficial to do to you. You're gonna be good at things that you actually love. It's very different. Very, very different. I think that's probably, you know, the biggest takeaway from this whole this whole monologue. It's that you can't be good at things you want. You're gonna be good at the things you like. Never got into Halo? That's a good question. I think I would have really liked Halo, but I was more into Dark Souls, not Dark Souls 3. I was more into Rainbow Six at that time. I was into Rainbow Six Vegas, being before Rainbow Six Vegas 2. I think that was around the same time as Halo. Could be wrong, but I think it was. You know, a while. Also, you can hardly really, like, dedicate yourself to, like, multiple things at the same time if you're gonna try to compete at a high level. Smokey, I really doubt that. Like, the things you say in chat are sometimes so awkward. I find it hard to believe. Yo, Marvin, thank you so much for the resub for 6 months, man. Really appreciate that. And by the way, guys, don't take what I say for law, you know, like, to each his own. And also, like, doesn't mean that you can't be good at something you want. Like, you're just gonna have to put in the work, like a lot of work. You can always overcome odds if you're motivated enough, but motivation, dedication, it's one of the hardest thing to manufacture. Like, you're gonna need one hell of a will to overcome that, and to force yourself to have the discipline to get good at something you don't necessarily like, whether it's for a grander goal or something else. Alrighty, Soka, thanks for staying by for the whole thing, man. Really appreciate it. Very kind of you, dude. Yeah, you're absolutely right, JJ. Like, yeah, like you understand perfectly. Like, it's way easier to get good at things if you like them, because it's not like forceful, and you don't need to motivate yourself to, to do the practice, that sort of stuff. Like, you're gonna be consuming information and content on your free time, so you're gonna be doing like overtime pretty much without really knowing it. It's like, I can give you guys a relevant example with Dark Souls 3. Like, I was passionate about Dark Souls 3, and I would like before I go to bed, I would think about like different strats and different builds, and it would just like be in my head because I was constantly thinking about it. That's what it is to be obsessed with something. And believe me, it is not the case with Elden Ring. Like, I do these streams, and then when I leave the game, I don't think about it until I'm like, I haven't streamed in a while. What will I play with today? Man, I need to figure out something so that the content is not too boring. Totally different. You have to take advantage of Big Boy. Oh, never mind, Ghost is dead. That PvE is brutal. These knights are really good. Being obsessed with this game is pretty sad. Well, I mean, it's always a matter of perspective. Like, like, anything that's entertainment could be seen as a waste of time, really. For me, though, like, I managed to, like, in my particular case, I managed to sort of maneuver around that. Like, back in Dark Souls 3, like, I made, like, the thing I was passionate about, which was useless, like being good at the video game Dark Souls 3. It's a useless skill, really, in the grand scheme of things. But, I made that an income stream. Now we're not talking about useless anymore. Like, with that income, you pay for food, you pay for, you pay for rent, you pay for whatever. So you take something that's useless and make it useful. That's a little different. And also, you ask someone who dedicates himself to piano and never really plays professionally or anything like that, like, you tell them that they wasted their time, like, learning piano and getting good at it. Maybe they won't feel that way. Maybe they think that they like it enough so that they're just happy because it makes them happy. And so there's really no wrong answer there as to like what you actually like. Like, even the people who play Elden Ring, maybe we think that Elden Ring is really not worth it because it's not that skillful. But if they enjoy it, if that makes them happy, good on them. More power to them. There's nothing wrong with that. That kind of transition, unfortunately, takes the soul out of many hobbies. Oh, you are absolutely right. You are so right. Like, I definitely started to not enjoy gaming as much ever since I made it like a part of not just not just an income stream, but income that I rely on, right? Like, my income doesn't all come from this channel and from gaming, but it's a significant portion of my income. You know, I don't make a lot of money, so that portion is important to me because I need that money to pay for my expenses. So, you know, like, there's some, whether you realize it or not, there's always some added pressure there. Oh, wow, right above his head. Let's try this one instead. I didn't mean to do a follow-up. I meant to two-hand my weapon. Where are we going? I'm gonna try to whiff punish with catch flame instead. When he whiffs. And these fucking first step warriors, they're such runners. Every time you get a hit, you know, like, you have to chase them across the map. And also every time you get a hit, because this game doesn't have a good priority system, like, it's unsafe to do a lot of these inputs. And so what ends up happening is you lose pressure. You lose pressure more often than not after you chase them down and you get a clean hit on them. That's one of the reasons why it's hard to take Elden Ring seriously. Because the game doesn't reward the better player. It doesn't reward you for outplaying your opponent. Like there, for instance, right? Like, what happens is, like, we get the first hit on the guy, and more often than not, like, because the stun is so low on these things, and because, like, a play for other people is often to spam out of stun, you're sort of forced to attack twice and let them escape. Otherwise, you get put into 50-50s. Like, the guy tried to jump at some point to, like, counterattack me. And so it forces you to just do, like, a second attack right away. And then there's no mix-up that comes after and you can't catch him. And so the game is just flawed in that sense. And if you've been, like, gaming and in actual competitive games, like, you cannot take Elden Ring seriously. You just can't. You can't, because you keep seeing these issues with the game that just make it so that it feels pointless to get good at the game, because the game does not reward you for outplaying your opponent. Yeah, you're absolutely right, JJ. Like, boosting confidence, I feel like it's one of the better things that that these games has brought to me. Like, confidence, not necessarily like as a general sense, but more like confidence in endeavors and, like, you know, and going about things a little differently. Like, have the guts to do some things that people who are a little more insecure wouldn't have the guts to do. I mean, that's what confidence really is, I guess. You could also say it grows your pair, right? Like, your testicles just get bigger. For the better or worse, you know, like, some people find it annoying. Because, you know, more often than not, with confidence comes arrogance, but You look at a lot of UFC fighters, for instance, like not everyone is a Khabib or a GSP or a Mighty Mouse. Like there's a lot of John Jones out there. You don't need to be humble to be the best, guys. it's just how it is. Even if you have confidence. Now, everyone has their demons and things that they want to improve on, but it's the gist of it. At least the way I see it. Did I thank Marvin earlier? I don't know if I thanked Marvin. It was 43 minutes ago. Marvin, thank you so much for the resub for 6 months, by the way. I don't know if you're still here. I don't know if I thanked you earlier, but I just noticed it again. But like I saw it earlier, I don't know if I mentioned it. Saw it like 10 minutes ago and I wasn't paying attention. 2 players. Close. That's not good. Wow, I gotta aim punch that hot like big time. Oh, you double rolled that. Move out of here. Takes too long to cast. Move. Bro. He just died on his own. That's insane. Yo, Mark, thanks for the gifted to Kaiser. Really appreciate that. I mean, this one was a gift. Like, we didn't really have much of an out. Like, it was just them chasing after us, and we don't do enough damage, really, to retaliate. I learned over time, though, that in this particular area, if you don't have, like, Great Bow to knock them off, it's better to just take your chance, endure, and go down. I was reluctant to do that at the beginning. But over time, so far, it has worked better to just go down. You did, thank you. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm very bad at multitasking. Like, if I'm talking about something, playing the game, like, sometimes I don't remember who I thanked and who I didn't thank, and I don't want to miss, like, like any of the kind gestures. What's the build? It's really nothing special. It's 80 fate, and so far it has not been very good. The damage is not high enough. Doesn't hit multiple people. It's just not a very good setup. We definitely are gonna take big damage from these PSGS. I really don't like that. Good roll there. You're all in the right direction. I don't actually like that matchup. I do very little damage with my Pada on top of that, and he has the proper build for actually I just realized this certainly is not helping me. Oh, the lag there. Brutal. This guy played well, I gotta give it to him. Yeah, I don't like my build though. I feel like whether it's an invasion or 1v1, like it's just not very good. the damage is not good enough. And there's not much benefit. Like, Catch Flame is not like a bad spell. Like, it's very good, but I feel like it's very situationally good. Need to be very passive too, because you can really be in danger against like Ice Armor or very long weapon like this other guy. Like, there's not much opening to go for Catch Flame. And the other guy, like, was not stupid. He knew that he could roll into me, which put more pressure on my moves. Give me one sec, guys. Alright, fellas, one last, and then that's gonna be it for me today. One last invasion. One last invasion, and we're gonna use... I'm gonna use just the Great Cat normally, without the spells. We'll try that. Sorry, baby turtle. No twos for today. I have to go after this. Questionable. We have to jump. Wow, guys, seriously? I cannot believe we won that. Alright, guys. Well, that's a good one to end it. I was not a believer, but we got it. Thanks to Red Tear Stone for the big damage. Alright, fellas. Thanks everyone for coming by the stream. Hope you enjoyed the last invasion. Alright, guys. I'll catch everyone later and take care, guys. Okay, let's raid. Let's see who's on right now. We got Steel, but he's playing Night Rain. Let's raid Alluvial. Alright, take care, guys.